In an unprecedented decision, FIFA has decided to stage the 2030 World Cup, get this, across 3 continents and 6 countries. Matches are going to happen in South America, Europe and Africa. Now, critics, I'd say me included, say this is an unusual decision. Perhaps it's all about money, billions being spread across the globe, people being forced to fly across 3 continents, of course, for a match. Extraordinary. Joining me now to discuss all of this, sports writer for GQ magazine, Andy Mitten. Andy, have let's start with that World Cup one, because that is, to me, bizarre. What's going on? Oh, we'll come back to you, Andy, shortly. What's with it? I mean, he was smiling there, so you clearly heard me going on my rail about the football. Let's see if he's back with us. Andy, have I gone out of left field here saying this is a really weird decision to do the World Cup 2030 across 3 continents?
Yeah, it's very unusual. It's unprecedented. Uruguay staged that first World Cup, so they were always really big on having a competition in 2030. Morocco has bid for several World Cups as well. Spain has been interested. It is a trend. It's moving away from the single country model of hosting tournaments. We saw Poland and Ukraine hosting Euro 2012. We see with the next World Cup going across Canada, the United States and Mexico. And we're seeing with the news today that Euro 2028 is almost certain to be right across the UK plus the Republic of Ireland. So it shares the cost burden, because not all of these competitions make money. The last European Championships was spread all around Europe. I travelled to 9 different countries, I think. It lost money, partly because it was happening during COVID times. But if the conditions are right, such as for France, Euro 16, which I was also at, then it can be a real boost for the economy, for hotels, for tourism. And there's an increase in sophistication in the football tourism market. If you go back to Euro 96, a lot of the stadiums in England were half full. It's hard to believe now, because if a European Championship was put in now, I'm sure that all the games would sell out. So it's changed a lot. Budget airlines help, more hotels, better infrastructure, and football has become even more popular.
Yeah, you make an interesting point about spreading the cost then, and then that versus the money it brings in from the tourism, etc. For the Euro 2028, 10 grounds have been selected. I won't list them all, but you're looking at places like Glasgow's Hampden Park, Cardiff's Principality Stadium, Dublin's Aviva Stadium, Wembley in London. Will we see a good level of collaboration, do you think, by all the home nations and Ireland?
I think so. I think it's a form of soft power, and I think it's a good thing. It's football. It brings joy to people. I've watched football in every single one of those stadiums, apart from the one in Belfast, because it's yet to be built. They're all football hotbeds. And Cardiff, Glasgow, Dublin, they're used to dealing with big numbers of tourists. I watched Manchester United play in Dublin only a month ago, 55,000 people there. The stadiums now are modern. This is a far cry from the early 90s, when a lot of the stadiums were decrepit, they were aged. England didn't host a major tournament from the 1966 World Cup until Euro 96. That wasn't a huge success. People remember it now with very rose-tinted spectacles, but the stadiums were half empty. I'm convinced now that the stadiums right across the UK and the Republic of Ireland will be full. And it's not just about the game. You know, Germany might play in Belfast. They'll take 15,000 fans. They'll have a great time socially. And this is happening more and more across the continent and across several continents, looking at the World Cup competitions.
All right, sold. You've sold me on that. You may have even sold me on this 2030 idea as well, Andy.